Now, before we look at the rest of the video, there is one thing to note. The back wheels of the trolley jack do come off the ground here. Regardless of that, we are getting a vertical lift. And I think that's because we are on soil and not a smooth garage floor or something like that. Because if the floor were smooth and hard, the jack might back away from the load, or the load might back away from the jack. I don't know, I haven't tried it, but this certainly worked quite well for me, lifting the pallet with the wood on it, and there's quite a bit of weight there. Yesterday I had come out to find that the stack of firewood I have had shifted, and the whole stack was about to fall over in this direction. The problem was that some of these pallets had sunk into the ground and needed propping up underneath, so needed wedging. So you can see here, this was the worst one. So rather than move all the firewood and start to lift these pallets up, I decided to modify my garage trolley jack so that I could get it underneath these pallets, lift them up, and prop them up so the problem would be solved. Now, my plan was to make an attachment that, instead of lifting from something that's already this high off the ground, we want to lift something that is right almost on the ground up. So I found out that this little lifting part here comes right out of there, and I need something about this size to fit in that hole. I couldn't find any solid stock, but I did find this piece of heavy wall tubing. And that doesn't fit in the hole, so I had to put this in the lathe and turn it down so it did fit in the hole. Then I needed something that brought an arm out just past these front wheels. I found in my scrap box some of this 1x1 heavy walled square tubing, and I had quite a few pieces of it. So I planned to weld this on here. Now this is a little shorter than the piece I used. I needed to come out just past the wheels. And I think that was about 7.5 inches I cut that at, and I welded this on here. And then I measured the distance from this piece down to ground surface. I needed a piece that would come down that low, and that piece would go on something like this. Then I needed a piece of flat stock. I found some 2-inch by 1/4 inch thick, and I welded that on here, which is my lifting foot. So what I ended up with after that was this. Right here is my finished piece. And that finished piece now just slides right in here. And we have our lifting foot right there like that. Now, what I had come up with actually did a very good job of lifting up those pallets so that I could straighten that wood pile up. But after making this, my thought was that if I have lifted this part up, now I'll try to do that so you can see, that part is now lifting up, say about that far, that I could have made this section a little bit longer. I can always bring it down again so it's on the ground. But doing something like this and having it a longer piece here would mean that you could get this foot actually below ground level. If you had any patio stones or large slabs of cement that had sunk, you could slide this underneath and use this whole thing to lift those up as well.